What happened to you, Red?
Everybody got some shit. Everybody gets shit. I wanted it to be my time.
Well, you're right about one thing.
It's your time.
What?
It is your time.
Nice. Your ex sucks. If we take his shoes, we can go to Wonderland. Wait.
Nick!
Annie, are you okay?
Yeah.
Damn it, do you need backup?
That's Hemlock's voice.
Speak up, man, I can barely understand you. Have you recovered the orphan?
Negative, sir. We have him cornered. Requesting additional time to mop things up.
Very well. I'll grant another day. Malin will be happy to have more time. Our work here is not yet complete regardless.
Mine isn't either.
No. What is up with the sound in the cinematics not working right?
Katie? Katie!
Oh my god. Dad?
Honey, please.
What?
I'm sorry.
Holy
Dad,
shit.
I'm sorry.
Katie Ann Green, where have you been? I lost my mind when you ran away.
Shit, that's real cute, ain't it? Ooh, I love a happy ending.
Damn it, Dick, shut up.
Dad, I'm sorry. I saw what it was doing to you. The pressure to keep me unregistered and to find zombricks all the time. It wrecks people, that drug. I didn't want to burden you anymore.
You've never been a burden to me, honey. It's not your fault what happened to me. I'm the one who's the burden. I'm not proud of what I've done. God, I've been looking for you for so long.
You're the man Gary works for. I'm not letting Annie go with some thug. I don't give a shit if she is your daughter. She's not your property.
I've been looking for my daughter for 2 years. And now there's a zombie outbreak like the one that killed her mother. You don't know what that's like. Who the hell is this?
Nick Ramos. Who are you?
Chuck Green, bitch.
Chuck Green.
Okay, it's okay. Dad, I mean, how did you find me?
I found Gary. He overheard where you were going. I wanted to kill him for letting you go. But I never seen the fat bastard so happy.
It's been a long time, Chuck Green.
Isabella Keys. What the hell are you doing
It's like a
here?
crazy reunion.
Your face.
Dr. Malin was always envious of me. At least I can still walk. It is imperative that we get this man to a safe place immediately.
What, that little pipsqueak?
You're kidding me, right?
He contains within him, within his body, the cure, the antidote to the parasite. Come, we must get to this plane. We don't have much time.
Let's do this.
Dun, 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 dun. So this is probably going to be overtime, I'm guessing, since we got an extra day.
That's it. Good.
This plane won't fit all of us.
Gary and I'll stay.
What?
No, we figured that we'll round up anybody who's still alive and we'll truck them out of here. We'll find a way.
I can't leave you guys.
You're the important one.
Well,
Nick.
we can't leave Rhonda. Fuck Gary.
Don't ever forget you got a family right here. Okay?
All right, come on. Get at it. Get out of here.
Do either of you even know how to fly a plane?
I guess we'll just have to make do with what we got.
So how far in the future?
Luck.
Buckle up, everybody.
So how long has this been going on? Because Chuck and Isabella are obviously at least, what, 15 to 20 years older, probably? Because Isabella seemed like she was relatively young, like in her 20s. In the last game. Chapter 7 complete. You earn more attribute points because I need them, and you received a new blueprint, enormous bomb. So is this overtime? Oh, wait. No, it's the ending. Okay. That was a little shock. I didn't really expect to hit the end that fast. There is still overtime, I think. But yeah, this is generally where I give my thoughts on the game, blah, blah, blah. There are more videos that are going to be coming, though. Almost certainly, because my understanding is, even if that was like the last day or whatever, you can still just keep playing, I think. So go back and get the stuff that you didn't find, the blueprints and the trophies and all that. So that will still be coming for sure. But I'm going to do an actual, well, a more official-ish rule review. But my mini review, overall, I liked it a lot. I loved the Dead Rising series. I loved 1 and 2. I didn't play Off the Record, but I actually bought it like 2 years ago, but never played it. But I love 1 and 2. They both had their flaws, as this one does as well. But if you like the first 2, you're definitely going to like this one, because I think it takes that formula, the crazy over-the-top weapons and action and ridiculous hordes of zombies, and just, it's really did a significant improvement on each iteration, I felt like. And this one adds the whole more open world, because you can move around a lot in the second one, but this one gives you a lot more room and a lot more like cars and stuff to drive, the combo cars, a ridiculous number of combo weapons. It's really nice too that you can build them anywhere. In Dead Rising 2, they introduced the combo weapons, but you had to be at a specific workbench to build them. It was really cool that you could just make them anywhere. It just took time to do. So that was a neat improvement. There's also, they improved on the time limits. It still feels like, I still don't think, I have an odd, I'm kind of torn on the time limit. On one hand, I see what they're doing. They're trying to say, okay, they want to feel pressure, because a lot of games are like, oh, you've got to hurry before this thing happens. And you've got all the time in the world to complete it. For example, with Skyrim, it's like, oh, the war's going on and they're going to take over Skyrim, and we've got this dragon come back and he's going to destroy the world. You can take literally in-game years and years and years, and it'll never happen until you progress to that point in the story. So there's no urgency. There's no real feel that this is actually going on. This is an actual clock that you're fighting. So I see where they're going. And with this game, they definitely loosened it up a lot. The first game in particular was very tight on the time. And the first time you played it, pretty much impossible that you would do all the missions, because you would need to do them in an efficient way. And you need to know, the AI was even worse than it is now with the followers. And it was just a huge, huge mess trying to save everyone. And I think most people just ended up saying, screw it. And once in a while saving people and doing the psycho battles, but other than that, just kind of, doing whatever. Because there's so much to do, just running around, getting these different weapons, and, just wreaking havoc is in itself fun. And with the second game, second game, I think they had blueprints. I don't remember off the top of my head. But anyway, let's talk about this game, because this is the one that we just played. But I loved all the stuff to find, the Frank trophies, the collectibles, the blueprints, the tragic endings. I think that was pretty much everything to find. The main things to find. Oh, and the ZDC speakers. I like having all that extra stuff to find. I don't like how sometimes it was hidden behind doors you just couldn't get to yet. People who probably are okay with more Metroidvania type games, where sometimes there's just areas you can't get to until you get a more powerful weapon or upgrade, and then you can, it's physically impossible to get in there. It's not that you don't have the skill to get in there or your weapon doesn't do enough damage against this boss. It's you literally cannot get in because a door is locked and it doesn't open up until you progress this certain part of the game or you do this certain quest. I don't like that, because a lot of times I'm sitting there, I'm using all this time, which is already limited, trying to find out how to get in, and then I realize, oh, well, I probably can't do this until later on in the game. That sucks, and I think that happens too much, and it kind of encourages you to say, well, give it a cursory glance at first, but if you don't see a way to get in quickly, just keep playing the game and it'll probably open up that area, which I think is unfortunate. I wish more areas would have been open. I can see why they didn't, just due to how, you have all these missions that pop up in these different houses that if you could go in them and they were empty and then later on you went back and all of a sudden there's a person there, that'd be kind of weird. But then again, it's a game where I can combine a flare gun with a glass table and create a ridiculously powered, multi-directional shooting machine gun. So, I don't think people are going to really mind too much. Story-wise, I thought the story was actually kind of interesting. I'm actually, interested in the story of Dead Rising. It's not something that I, spend a lot of time on Wikipedia reading about. But, it's interesting. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's kind of the typical zombie outbreak, government conspiracy, government intervention, revenge story. All kind of tied together with the way that, it's basically what Isabella was talking about. And it's kind of what she was talking about was kind of a wrap up of what happened in Dead Rising 1, or what you discovered in Dead Rising 1. And then Chuck Green from Dead Rising 2 showing up was pretty cool, and turning out that that's his daughter was pretty neat. I definitely didn't see that coming. That's for sure. I'd almost forgotten about his daughter in the second game, where you have to keep going back and giving her the Zombrex, or I think she actually does become a zombie, I believe. I think I managed to not do that, but yeah, voice acting was good, I thought. For the most part, some of the characters were a little off, but the game is supposed to be over the top and cheesy, so it's hard to tell if the voice actor just wasn't doing his or her job correctly, or it was actually supposed to be that way. So I don't know, and that's the thing about this game that I love. It's totally over the top. It totally doesn't make any goddamn sense, and it's totally okay with that. And I love that. I like needs to be more games like that. There's too much of a move. I'm okay. I keep saying totally. I'm okay with games that are taking themselves seriously. Want to push a strong narrative and want to focus on a serious story and be an emotional experience. That's totally fine, and I enjoy that. I enjoy my Walking Dead type games. I enjoy my Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I enjoy that kind of stuff. But I like these games that are just completely ridiculously off the wall. They make no goddamn sense. It's like a B-movie or a B game. Let's call it a B game. That's going to be my term. I copyright that. A B game. Where it's supposed to be like the Saints Row games, right? It doesn't take itself seriously. It knows that what it's doing is asinine. And it runs with it. And but it does have an interesting story underneath. Again, nothing that's gonna, win any awards. It's not gonna be a story you talk about with your friends, probably. But, it's good enough to push the story along. The characters were some likable, some unlikable. Some were just bland. Like, Dick was just kind of there. Rhonda was cool. I liked Rhonda. I still don't like Sammy, what's his face. I will say, too, the whole thing with Chuck Green and him hiring Sammy to find his daughter, but yet Sammy or whatever his name is tying her up in that room with all the zombies and shit. Like, that was kind of like, why wouldn't he have told her? Like, wouldn't he have been very specific to say, you make sure don't harm her in any way? Right? I would think he probably would be very, very specific and say, if he's like kind of like a thug, he's saying, hey, go get this girl. You think, oh, I'll just go get her. And, if I had to hurt her or whatever, that's fine. But I think he would say, make sure not to harm her in any way, shape, or form. So, that was kind of like, that's actually the first thing I thought when he was like, I told him, where he was like, oh, you're his boss. Which I knew something was going on with the whole boss thing. Something was weird, because you never see the boss, you never hear the boss. But he was referenced repeatedly. So I knew something was going on. I definitely would have never guessed it was Chuck Green. Because I didn't think, even though I noticed Isabella looked older, I was like, oh, that's weird, but maybe she's older than I remembered. Because I knew this happened after the whole Chuck Green thing, but I thought it was like a year or two later. I didn't think it was, bare minimum, it was 10 years later? Given how much older they both look, surely it's at least 10 years later. Granted, their lives have probably been pretty rough, so I guess you could argue that it was like 5, 6, 7 years, but even that's pushing it, because Chuck looked older. He's more ragged, which probably doesn't really make time to shave a lot, but he's still got that same jacket on, so I guess it can't be that much later. wearing that same jacket. And it still looks like it's in pretty good condition, but obviously I'm reading a little bit too much into it, but I'm sort of doing that on purpose for comedic effect. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, and I'm interested to see what's going to happen after the credits here. I'm kind of pushing and waiting for that. I kind of want to hit continue here because I think it won't screw us on that, because I never like skipping the credits because I'm afraid that if there's something after the credits, the game's going to skip it, which would be a douchey move, but hopefully it won't do that, which I'm probably going to hit enter here very shortly. But I want to kind of wrap up my overall feelings. I do want to talk about quickly some of the faults. I wish you could just save anywhere. You can save, but it doesn't save where you are. It always sends you back to the garage. That's a pretty minor gripe. The save system in particular in Dead Rising 1 was crap. It was totally awful. And one of the major complaints that I heard with the first game. Other things, the AI on your companions is still pretty wonky, especially when getting in the vehicles. You can see there's some weirdness there. 30 frames per second cap is pretty ridiculous. I know they made this for Xbox, and I know there's ways to get around it, but I still feel like the game was very poorly optimized. The game looks pretty good. I mean, it looks good. I'm going to say it's good. I say it looks good. But it doesn't look anywhere near as good as something like Shadow of Mordor. In Shadow of Mordor, I can get much better looking graphics with a bunch of crazy shadows and all this other stuff at like 60 frames a second. Now, of course, this game has literally hundreds of zombies on screen at any given time. So, you know, there's got to be some balance there, and I understand that. But I still feel like it was under optimized. On release, they had some issues. They did do a pretty good job of fixing that relatively quickly. They did seem to be very active on the forums, trying to get more information so they could fix it quickly. So to their credit, they didn't just throw it out there and go, well, we'll see when we can get a patch out. Like Batman Origins was. Oh, what a mess that was. But anyway, yeah, I definitely liked it overall. I don't know, like I'm trying to think of negatives. It was repetitive, but again, I liked the gameplay. I liked running around, making weapons and whatnot. I do think maybe some weapons were just way, way, way too powerful, which, you know, made me want to abuse that. Needless to say, like the spread gun or whatever it was called, that thing was ridiculously powerful. Oh my god. I do like, though, at the end, at that point, you're level 50. I feel like the game's just kind of like, look, you're level 50, here, have fun. Here's the level 50 abilities. They're ridiculously powerful. You got all these blueprints. Go have fun. Knock yourself out. I feel like, that's what I really felt like at level 50. I feel like any challenge in the game up to that point was totally just like, nah, screw it. Just knock yourself out, have fun. Like the last boss was not even close to being a challenge because of that. And I didn't actually, we went to the entire playthrough. I did not die at all. So, I mean, that tells you something about the difficulty. I mean, yes, I had some experience with the Dead Rising series, so I kind of knew what to expect. I kind of knew how to build my character. And I had played it on Xbox One, but I don't think I died on Xbox One either. I don't think. And I think I only really came close to dying once. I think I got down to like 1 health box pretty early on. But yeah, I don't know. Overall, though, if you like the other Dead Rising games, definitely pick this up without question. If you didn't like them, it's probably not going to change your mind. There's not enough there to turn you around in the Dead Rising series. Looks like we're at the end of the credits, though. But yeah, thumbs up on this one. I very much enjoyed it. Is it going to do it automatically? You're going to make me hit her. I was just going to cycle again. Okay. What do we get now?
Hot damn, man. We're finally getting out of here.
Don't say that. You know you're not getting out of here.
Collection time?
Only when retrieval has been completed will we commence destruction of the city.
That's Hemlock.
The most powerful weapon of mass destruction known to mankind is almost in our grasp.
Take off, Nick.
It's not a good time to get cold feet, buddy.
Hemlock's doing something here in town, collecting something.
What the hell's that guy looking for?
The substance the king zombies give off will be very powerful if collected or synthesized. We must go.
But we can't just let him do it.
We're so close to a cure to your own disease. Don't you want that?
But don't you get it? It might not even matter if we have a cure if he has something like that.
Whatever it is, it's starting now.
Yeah, good luck getting out of there.
Annie's right. A cure won't mean a thing if we don't stop this.
Nick, please! But Dad, what are you doing?
Katie, I used to be the guy who solved problems, not caused them. We are gonna get that son of a bitch.
He looks evil as hell in this game, by the way.
Nick, Dad, give
Chuck.
me that. Come on, I will get up on the crane. I'll tell you where he's going.
Not quite sure what my daughter sees in you. You want to impress me? Here's your chance.